Hello. Okay, let's get started on day number 3, which will be the story of visiting Santa Claus. I have this pattern paper pulled. I've already cut my photo down to be a full page on this side. However, I am thinking I need to make it a little bit of a flip out motion because the story is bigger than just kind of finally appreciating Santa. I will tell you the story on the voiceover, but in essence, I kind of want to create a little bit of a flip motion where this will be in the center and maybe 2 more photos over here, and then my journaling will be here. So we'll construct that together. And then since I'm using the back side of this 12 by 12, 2 by 2 square, because remember this side of the page is the story of Twinkle. I think I just put it to the side already with that envelope there. So these will be filled in with the elf on the shelf shenanigans. So it's blank for now, and I will slowly put flaps in as the month goes by with the different situations Twinkle is in. So on the other side, I have room to play. So I definitely counted out the letters, and Santa Claus actually fits perfectly with putting 2 elements of the stars in the spaces, so Santa and Claus. So I had these puffy letters pulled. They were a set of thickers. They were from, it's called Ella. It was this font. It's gold, and it is thick. So I was already kind of playing around with how thick it would be to have them in the pocket. And remember, then it would also have the flip up from this side too. And it's just going to be very textured. So I feel like I will adhere the Santa Claus everything on the outside of the page protector with this star pattern, because I'm all about the stars. I did pull out this vellum sheet, and I did also have this one pulled out as well. And don't get me wrong, I really do kind of like this one too, though. And mostly because too, I always say this, like I do want to kill my Allie Edwards kit because you spend so much money on it, and I'm okay with having a few extras, especially if there was more than one in the set. But like the pattern papers and the cards and things like that, I do always want to use up. So if I don't use it now, you know what I mean? Like it's harder to use it throughout the thing. So maybe I will change to this because I do just love this. And it's a way for it to really shine because I'm just going to have like this whole sheet show. So now I'm almost like rethinking it. Because usually if I'm using it for a picture or something, you know, a majority of it would be covered and you would only get the outside perimeter. So I think I just answered my own question. So let's get started constructing story number 3. Yes, I am so glad I convinced myself to use this gorgeous star paper. Like truly, the star paper, probably my favorite along with the acetate stars from the collection. So I knew I wanted to use it, and I'm glad I used it on this one because at least it stands out on its own in a nice page, and I definitely enjoy the way this overall turned out. So let me just explain now what I'm doing. So I did go ahead and cut them in 2 by 2 inch squares. I went down the vertical way, as you can see. That way the whole strip was utilized because it is exactly 8 inches wide and I needed 8 inches for this. And I do decide to leave 2 of the spots open so that I can put some of the acetate stars. And even though you don't see it in this video yet, because I'm trying to wait to finish the opposite side with my elf on the shelf shenanigans, I will be adding glitter and stuff to them so they will be sealed. And I think because of the way I'm looking at it as I flip through it, I will put the star on the outside of the pocket as well because it's a very glary area. And I just don't want to have that. So I do end up doing it on the outside of the page protector on this side. So it does work out quite nicely. And for some reason, the backing to this thicker set, like either there might be old and it just got stuck to all of them, or maybe they were just extra sticky, but I had to take them off the paper because you saw them already off, and then like peel off the backing still. It was that sticky to these letters. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but that's what had happened with this. So that Santa Claus looks so cute like that. And that's why I always think too of the page protectors. When I photograph them, you always almost have to do it. And I'm sure this is a trick a lot of us creators do. You have to take pictures of them still outside of the page protector, even though you have the page protector on the table, because the glare from your photography lights just shine down on it. And my ring light is also like awful on the photo. So they're always on the outside. That way it photographs way better. So this is the part where I thought I was going to create like this little flip window. So I'm kind of like nestling it into the photo itself. And all I've kept out was like maybe a quarter of an inch, maybe a half an inch. It might be a half an inch on either end. This part, folks, was completely unnecessary. I should have just did a full page, just swing it open and maybe just leave the part where it's hole punched, you know, for the thing, because this was such a little pain in the butt to line up perfectly, considering that I think, and I only say that in hindsight because I think story 5 or 6 that I've done now, I just did as a full page like flip without kind of doing this, and it was so much easier to put together. So if you're trying to do something like this, just make it the whole page, because having that quarter inch on or half inch on the top and the bottom, while it does look cute because it hides the flap completely, it was just a pain. I'm just gonna be honest with you, it's just a pain. It wasn't worth the inch I saved doing that in order to keep the picture like more intact, is how I was thinking. Like, it's just like a little hidden flap, like it's Nick. No, you should just like have cut it and made the whole page a flap. It wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but that's hindsight looking back. When in the moment, oh, I love the way this turned out, you know what I mean? So I go ahead and kind of get it all constructed, and the inside is that gorgeous stripe. And on the outside now, I'm going to work on definitely trying to incorporate this wood veneer with the word joy, and I love it. And you see me auditioning the number 3 on like how big or small I want to do it. And then the vellum word that says magic with the gold outline, those were from Elle Studio, and I definitely love having those. I do want to make sure I use a few more of these because it's like a soft impact, you know what I mean? But it looks so good. And I go with a small 3 for the center of it from Ali Edwards, and it really ties it together. And then what I do too is, remember I was telling you the story. So the story is with the inside, you can see her kind of flipping through a book. We got the Amazon catalog in the mail a few weeks ago. Valentina went in there and circled everything that she wanted. And I thought before we go Santa, let's go make a list and we can tell it to him. And she insisted that she was going to bring this catalog to see Santa to show him exactly what she wanted. And that is what she did, folks. And that's the picture that, and the story that goes along with it, is that this Santa, bless his heart, like entertained this whole conversation with my 5-year-old as she flipped through the catalog. And I did dog ear all the pages, like fold them in half to where she had to go, because she had a visual presentation for Santa Claus to know exactly what she wanted. So in the inside of the journaling flap, I cut out all of her little circled items to remember what she was into this year and what she asked Santa for. It was absolutely adorable. Next, we're going to move on to story number 4, in which we went to go see the Nutcracker performing at the local high school. Well, it's a local high school, but it's a performance art private school. And so the shows they do are just spectacular. So my mom scored us the tickets when they went on sale, and we went to see it, and Valentina simply loved it. So we did have a few group shots, but I thought the one just of my mom with her little Clara doll during intermission was perfect. And don't get me wrong, I adjusted the color a little bit weird, but it's okay. It'll work, and it'll tell the story of having this doll and seeing the Nutcracker. So I have the circuit, the playbill from the performance, and I do have an extra one, and it has the date on it. So it was yesterday that on the 3rd, but I'm telling it for my 4th story. So it's kind of chunky, as you know. So the beginning part is always of all of the students and the actors that are in the play. So I do want to keep the first half, and the second half is just truly a lot of advertisements and local businesses. So the second half of it I really don't need. So I've already taken out the staple. So I will staple it probably, and we're gonna make sort of maybe like a vellum pocket on this side. And I'm deciding to either make these little tags that also go in it with the pocket, or we might have like a little cutout here, and then I'll have a tag pull out here for journaling too. So let's get started on story number 4. So seeing the Nutcracker was just so good for her. Like I already can definitely tell that my daughter is very much into the theater and performing and everything. And she'll tell you right now, like her favorite singer is Beyonce, and she just found the music video like Single Ladies, and she just enjoys singing all the Disney songs. And so this ballet was no different. So it was a great experience. So here I was explaining, I cut the playbill in half and kept the front half of it with all of the students' information and like their grade level and the performance, and it cuts down on that bulk. So I knew I was going to do a full page photo on the other side, and so I was just trying to find a pattern paper to use on the background to make my little, and I knew I wanted to make it vellum so that where the pocket sat, the nutcracker and the date would still shine through from this playbill. And it did come out perfectly. So I do go with this like hunter green, like gingham plaid, or gingham in general. Is that how you say it? Yeah, gingham. And it worked out beautifully. So then I had these few extra photos you can see on the right there of like a 4x6 of her next to like a nutcracker decoration, and then me with her in like a little photo nook that they had at the theater, which was really cute. So I left those just as like a little tuck behind the playbill. Just as extra photos. I didn't make a flap or do a tag or anything, but I do, you'll see me in a moment, do a pull-out slide or pull-out moment on the full page photo where I'll add more photos of her with some of the ballerinas that came out to take pictures with the audience, and also my journaling goes on that card. I did mention earlier too, I think that I might be just doing all my journaling handwritten from here on out in this, because having the typed journaling is causing a little bit of the delay because I don't want to waste paper. So I might just be handwriting all my journaling, which would keep me a little bit better on it. But I must say, I'm doing this voiceover after I do this, and I'm a little behind. I'm like, not to say losing steam. I think we are very busy, and I am finding it hard to sit down and craft at night because I'm tired. So I did a bulk of these stories, like 1 through 6 over the weekend. So I'm sure when the weekend comes around again, I'll be able to do more, like 4 more days and stuff, and keep up with it in that regard. So here I am trying to make that pull out. So I knew I needed to make a slit, and I measured my piece of paper, which is just extra from making the pocket. And I put that nutcracker layered sticker, which was from Hobby Lobby, on it. That was serendipity, worked perfectly for the pull out. And like I said, I see how I'm doing it, so I just made a slit and slipped it right behind the picture. So here I am. I just printed 2 photos, one with Clara, the dancer that was Clara, and then one with a few of the Sugar Plum Fairy dancers that came out. She loved taking pictures with them. And I did my journaling. Everything I pretty much have just said to you is what I wrote about her loving the theater, Grandma taking us, and actually Aladdin is coming to town at the end of the month, and so we're taking her to see Aladdin soon too, so she'll have like 2 theater experiences in the month of December, so that'll be a fun layout later on in the album. So Holly Jolly are these stickers from, I think there's Pink Fresh Studio that I've had in my stash. The green worked perfectly for this whole green motif layout, and that gold for, and then I take the magical part 2, and I kept it very, very simple for these add-ons, but I will punch holes, and that'll be it. Okay, that will wrap up stories 3 and 4. Love how all of them turned out. Love putting the choice to do this outside the page protector. You really get that dimension and the texture and the vibrancy from that pattern paper from the kit. Love this whole collage thing I got going on. Yes, I still feel my photo is a bit yellow, but I am just going to work with it. It's a completed page. And then this one, it's printed better. This one, and believe it or not, this was a Walgreens print, and this 5x7 I printed at home with some more editing. So printing at home seems to be better, but I just need to get a bigger formatted printer. My largest I can do on my Epson PictureMate is a 5x7. So love the picture of them conversating, a few more photos from that visit to the mall, and then all of those things she circled in the Amazon catalog as a flip out as well. Made this page just so interactive and fun. And then for story 4 on the back, with our visit to go see the Nutcracker, kept it simple on this side. I do have the playbill, and then I did double side this photo of Valentina and myself. And then the pullout here has those extra cards or photos and the journaling, and it sits nicely in here, especially with having the Nutcracker as the pull tab. I thought that was a cute little element of surprise. So 3 and 4 are completed. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Hit the bell notification so you know when I'm uploading, and then also give this video a thumbs up. Till next time, everyone. Bye.